Welcome everybody to our second episode of our Recruiting Plus recruiting campaign video series. Not only are we part of the largest and strongest network around the world, but I think we are really very fortunate that RE/MAX is rooted in a culture of sharing and collaboration. And our guest speaker in today's episode, Conradom Zurinim, he is definitely incorporating and embody all these principles. And you've most likely seen him at one of our conventions or European meetings. And with over 600 agents in the Niagara-Burlington area in Canada, I think that Conradom Zurinim's offices are proof of what is possible when you set a recruiting strategy, stick with it, and optimize it based on data-driven results. And when we asked him what has changed now during COVID-19 when he's recruiting, he said, well, nothing actually changed. I'm still sticking to the process and my systems. The only thing that has changed is that he's using Zoom now for interviews instead of doing the interviews in person. So like many of you, he's showing that recruiting and growing your office during these times is possible and is the highest and best use of your time right now. So welcome to this episode. Let's get started.
Good.
See you. Are you at the office or are you at home?
No, I'm at the office. Well, we still kept some offices with like skeleton staff and stuff like that. So.
Would you say that now is still a good time for you to recruit, or is that something that you've put on hold during this time?
As a matter of fact, no, we're still recruiting. There's no question. We've also always practiced this kind of law of attraction. And what's happening is we're putting out some really, really great content out there in terms of video content, other different. We've created a lot of clauses and pre-screening forms and things like that are getting people's attention. And what's happening is people are now reaching out to us. And I think they're also reaching out to their agents as well, like agents, like colleagues, and saying, hey, what's going on at RE/MAX Escarpment? Like, we're noticing it's really kind of quiet here. Are the brokers and the leadership, are they actually communicating with you? What's happening? And I think that's really getting that kind of buzz, and people are then saying, hey, we want to go to a company that's forward thinking and who's going to be ahead of this, not behind it.
Absolutely. Like, I see you very active on social media. Like, you've always been very active, but when the news came out in Canada about, kind of like lockdown, I'm not sure what it is. I had the feeling you were the first one up with your camera, shooting like quick videos for your agents, comforting them, letting them know what's going on, how you're going to support them. So the way I see it, you're really using that as an opportunity to differentiate yourself even more from the competitors, because they seem to be a little bit kind of like shocked and not knowing what's going on. And you're taking this opportunity and like stepping it up, right? That's how it seems.
Yeah, and I think it's all a matter of, look, let's be transparent, okay? And let's communicate what's happening and things like that. And look, like any other organization, I'm finding that probably 1/3 of our people are very, very active and doing, just what can you give me, Conrad? What can I do? And how can we make this better? And I get a lot of that, a lot of great engagement. Then 1/3 are just kind of navigating through and trying to figure this whole thing out because it is based on a 24-hour clock. And then I have 1/3 that's probably just saying, I'm going to sit this one out possibly and kind of not getting pulled into the fold right yet. So
yeah. Okay. But as you are still focused on recruiting and still, doing business as normal as possible, could you walk us through your recruiting process? So how does that look like in your office? Who's responsible for it? Just a quick rundown so we understand what's the process you're going through when you are recruiting new agents or existing agents to your office.
Yeah, so I've got my whiteboard. If you don't mind, I'm going to go to the whiteboard a little bit, right? So yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, great. So it all stems from this one thing, and this is from when I used to sell as well as an agent. And basically, I used to call it a lead generation wheel, but this is really our prospect generation wheel. And what we've done is we've created that, and I've got, and I can show you, here's an example of it here. So what we do is we have various ways that we have channels that we recruit agents, okay? So one of them, let's say, would be like an industry event. Industry events, that kind of thing. Okay, a lot of us have, even if we're looking for non-people outside the industry, I still have a very solid sphere of influence, okay, and so do my managers and things like that. So sphere of influence is also a category. Agent referrals. So our agents refer to us. So agent referrals. And then what we do is we take each one of these and we create a system, okay, a system by which that we operate. Okay, so that's key.
So how many different lead generation sources do you work on?
We're probably anywhere from 8 to 10 at any one time.
Which one of these 8 to 7 lead sources you work simultaneously would you say have the best returns? What works best for you in your market at the moment?
Okay, I'll say agent events probably is the highest cost, but the best yield. Agent events. Okay, so then let's walk through what we do, okay, with each one of these channels, okay?
Excellent.
So the next thing that we do is, and I want to walk through that with you, okay? So then what happens is, like, everything's got a system, okay? So let's go to the next, I'll go. So there's 3 different sections of the next part. So we decide, okay, so it's going to be industry events, okay? So we got our industry events. Now, there's 3 parts of the industry event. We've got the before, right? The before, right? I've got the during, okay, during, okay? And then I've got the after, which is the onboarding, okay? Now, each of these is now broken down into different sections as well, okay? So this is the before, is the pre-prospect, okay? The pre-prospect time. We invite them to an event, that type of thing. Explain the event, do Facebook ads, that kind of stuff. Okay, that kind of thing. Then the during is the actual event, and then we're making sure that we're reaching out to them at the event, that kind of thing, okay? After the event, how do they enjoy the event, any feedback, that kind of stuff. So we're constantly nurturing them all the way through. And then the after, the real after is the actual, okay, let's get them onboarded, okay? And what are we doing to onboard them?
You now mentioned you're using various different lead sources. I think key here is that you have a system for each one of them. So yes, you're very clear on how you work each individual lead source.
So the before is split up into 3 parts, okay? The before, okay? The one is the prospect, okay? Or the target, like who we're targeting. Could be another company, could be somebody we've done a deal with, that type of thing, or an agent's referred us, or whatever. So the first thing we look at, who's our target, okay? The next thing is, what's the messaging that we're going to do around this target? What's the message? Come to an event that you're going to see a world-class speaker, or come to an event that's about a situation happening in the industry and that kind of thing. So come to an event, educate yourself, elevate yourself, and things like that. So what's in it for them? So the messaging for them. And then the third thing is, what media, like how am I going to actually get this message out? Is it Facebook and all that kind of thing? So we created 3 columns by which we go through each one of these things. Who's the audience? Like profile the audience of people. What's the message that we're going to get out to them? And then what like, is it going to be Facebook, Instagram? What is it going to be? Google AdWords and things like that. Okay.
So it's the who, it's the what, and the how.
Exactly. No, you're exactly right. Mm-hmm. So then the next thing is what I call is the during. Remember the during? So the during, that's the nurture. That's when we're nurturing them. Okay. So that's all the nurture. Okay. So during is, what is your prospect capture system? So how are you capturing these people? Okay, so are you doing landing pages and things like that? So how are you capturing, okay, these people, okay? Okay, so you send out these broad emails, or you send out Facebook ads. So how are we capturing them? How are we getting them to fill things out and getting engaged with your company and that event or whatever it might be? So it's landing pages, okay? Emails, whatever, invites, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's number one. So now I'm at number 4. So if you notice, each section there's 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. I went to the first 3. Prospect, message, okay, and the media and how you distribute it. Now 4 is during. So capturing is number 4. Number 5 is how are you nurturing those leads? So that's number 5. Okay, the nurture part. How are you nurturing them? Who is communicating with them? Now again, you asked who is doing this all. So we have our managers, okay, that manage a lot of this, but we've engaged a lot of our staff as well. So our head of marketing and even our frontline staff. So our frontline staff are incentivized if they're dealing with somebody on the phone or an email with a co-op agent or whatever. They're then told, hey, you know what, this person could be a great fit for the company. Okay, so we're not just getting referrals from agents that are working for us, but we're getting referrals from our staff that are engaging with outside agents as well, saying, hey, Conrad, this person is would be a great potential to have in our company. I really enjoyed the conversation or the email, or there was a very educated email that we received from them and that kind of thing. So maybe there's someone you can reach out to. So again, so that's also a big part of it as well. Okay. So now, how am I nurturing them? How am I responding to them? Okay. And if it is a frontline staff initiated prospect, then what happens is this: we end up they would give it to the team leaders, okay, or the managers, or we have a various amount of experts. We even have marketing people we have marketing specialists that sometimes they'll send it to them, and our marketing people will possibly engage with that potential prospect as well. This is a way that we introduce them to the whole company.
So it's a team effort. Everybody's involved. Everybody knows clearly what the message is. Everybody knows what values you offer in that company, and everybody is able to communicate it to incoming leads, co-op agents, etc. Excellent.
Exactly. And everybody's very aware of what our brand promise is and what we're all about. Okay, because look, look, a lot of times people look at this as a numbers game. Like, our philosophy is we're about all boats rise, okay, helping everybody, even our employees, to do better, and incentivizing them to help us grow our company as well. But also that we're also encouraging them to bring people to us that we may be able to help them increase their business or create a business that they're looking for, okay, where we can help them, okay? And then, so that's number 5. Number six in the process is, what is your conversion strategy? Okay, so it's how are you converting these people? Okay, and that's critical. What are you saying? What are you doing to get them to convert? Okay, and to actually sit down with you for a coffee. We take nobody out for lunch as well. We're mostly coffee, but now it's very interesting with the situation we're in now. We're doing Zoom meetings with prospects, which is fantastic.
How is that going for you? How is Zoom meetings going for you? Any difference in the way you communicate or the topics you discuss, or is it the same for you?
I find that people are very mindful of your time. They're mindful of your time. We get right to the point. We have an agenda. Okay, we have a very simple five column agenda, or 5 position agenda that we kind of go through with them as well, so they know exactly what it's going to be all about. So it's just, we're not, because we've made it not like an interview. We make it like a dialogue. I think that's the other thing. I think you got to change. It's more of a dialogue, and I'll tell you, the Zoom meetings will allow the dialogue that much better. Okay, we're going to have so many positive things come out of this. You have no idea. And I think the Zoom piece is going to be the one.
I absolutely agree. I think the way that our broker owners and agents adapt to this situation is not something that will go away after this coronavirus has gone. But all the positive things, like the way we communicate, the way we follow up with our agents or clients, how we interact, how often we interact, and how much empathy we are showing towards each other. I think these are key things that will stay and will improve the way we work in our business. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is, so what's the conversion strategy? So what happens to this, and going back to people's mindful in time, we use a lot of technology. So all of our leaders have what we call we we have a pre-introduction to the company, an online pre-introduction. So we've created our whole recruiting book, the physical book online, but we also, as individual leaders in the company, we've created profiles that people can go, and it's our real intro profiles. And if anybody wants to look, just type in my name, Conradom Zurinim, and you'll see my real intro profile. And what happens is in that, embedded in that is we send it to the prospect ahead of time, and there's various modules, okay? And we can actually record the different modules that they're looking at. So when we sit down with them at that coffee or in the Zoom meeting, like I just did the other day, I know exactly what they looked at. As a matter of fact, the last Zoom meeting that I had, I noticed that this particular agent, okay, looked at all my sound bites, 76 videos. She looked at all 76 videos, okay? So she watched them all because we had sent them all to her by via BombBomb, and she watched, and we saw her opening them and watching them. So again, we're trying to gather intel prior to them coming, okay? Because their actions speak louder than words. In an interview, they may not be talking about certain things, but what they've clicked on our real intro, on our profile, on our virtual prospect introduction to the company,
tells you what they are looking for, right?
Exactly. So then we can tailor make the time and the whole thing. So we've done that. That's a non-negotiable with all of our leadership team to send that real intro profile. Excellent. And then we gather the intel. Okay. And
just to let everybody know, we will be sharing Conrad's real intro link with you, so you can have a look and you see exactly what he just explained to us.
Yeah. So then I just want to quickly go. So it's called the after. Okay. Which is number 3. Okay. And now we're going to talk about the number 7 feature. And I have handouts again. I have like eventually we'll do the handouts. You can see them there with the columns and things like that, so that people can all create those systems. You see how they're all in different sections? Mm-hmm. So people can create these systems that we're talking about. Okay, so that's key. And we'll do those handouts as well. Okay, so then it's the after. Now we sat down with them. We had the meeting. Everything was great. Okay, now the key thing is too, all of our managers have what we call is a post-meeting report card for themselves, okay? Because you know what happens, and it's a checklist. We have a pre-interview checklist and a post-interview checklist. Because we found out that a lot of our recruiters were not being consistent and missing some of the messaging. So we've created, these are the things that you should do prior to the meeting, okay? Look at their Facebook, find connections, all kinds of things, okay? Look at their web presence, everything like that. Get that whole database of information prior to the meeting. And then we also, after the meeting, there's a post checklist. Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I cover this? Okay, because that's critical. Because at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror. You're the only one to blame. If they don't come to your company, really, you're the one to blame at the end of it. Okay, especially when you get up to sit down, either Zoom or whatever. Now, Zoom is going to help people do that much more meetings and be able to engage these agents. So it's going to make a little bit more of a one more step to it. But I think if you can be on their personal device, like you and I are today on this personal device, I think that's gonna make the difference. Okay. So now we get to number 7, which is how do I deliver a world-class experience? So how in the onboarding, now this is where you gotta really shine when you onboard them, because now they're gonna get a taste of what it's like. So normally we have them sit down with, okay, we have specialists in our company. Which specialist do you think you'd really like to sit down with? Most of them say marketing. So we introduce them to our marketing head. And then our marketing head has a presentation that she does. And she's been doing them via Zoom as well. Because we're now doing the onboarding, okay, the onboarding and pre-onboarding via Zoom as well.
So again, you kept the entire recruiting process alive. You just introduced Zoom and everything runs just as before.
Absolutely. So yeah, exactly. So we've done that. And right when this happened, we met as a team and said, guys, look, where do we want to put time and resources and energy into? And everybody came across the same way. And all our leadership and all our specialists said, look, let's really perfect this Zoom situation and be able to do this via Zoom and things like that. So even our marketing people are meeting via Zoom talking about even for existing agents, looking at what their marketing needs are today and tomorrow and so on and so forth.
Excellent.
Okay? And we've upped our content. So I just wanted, so the experience, the onboarding experience, and I'll go quickly. And then how do I make this prospect a super fan? That's number 8. So how do I make them a super fan? Okay, and that's key. That's key to me right now. I want to make these guys a super fan, because if I make them a super fan, they're going to be able to tell our brand promise to their clientele, but also they'll be able to talk to people that they know, okay, and encourage them to possibly join our company as well. So you see how the whole thing, it starts from event all the way through, and there's checks and balances all the way through. So we make them a super fan, and number 9 is all about, okay, how do I stimulate and reward the prospect for referrals? Okay, so how do I stimulate these referrals coming from them? Okay, and how do I reward them for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's key.
Perfect. So thank you very much for sharing your very detailed and very organized and structured recruiting process. So nothing seems to be left to chance. You know exactly what you do when a lead comes in from a sphere of influence lead source or an event. So you know exactly when you get a new agent that's onboarded, you know where he's coming from. You mentioned to me before that you have a monthly report, a quarterly report on what agents joined you and where they came from. I thought that's very interesting. Could you tell us a little bit about that and how you use this report and that message, again, also for recruiting?
Yeah, because a lot of people ask us all the time, do you have new people come? Like, what's the composition of people coming to your company? So I thought, how are we going to best do this? So quarterly, we show how we've grown the company and where they came from. So, and I think I sent you a copy, and it shows that they're like newly licensed or new to the industry, or they came from, and we give the other company name, very much so. And people are excited about it. Again, if you do this process correctly, they're very excited. At first, we were reluctant. We asked them, do you mind if we put what company you came from? And they were all, of course, I want people to know. I want people to know where I came from, and that I've made this conscious decision to come to your company because of all the things you have to offer. So, and that's a huge thing, because that's a great thing, because my other little thing is re-recruiting.
Yeah.
Re-recruiting your existing people. And again, a lot of people talk retention, but ours is about re-recruiting and messaging that we're constantly showing that we are a growing company and we're taking people from companies that are trying to recruit them. So that's a key part of the re-recruiting piece.
Digging a little bit deeper into the content that you're using for recruiting during the lead generation process, what would you say are key content pieces that you would like to share with our broker owners that have been very successful? I know you have a recruiting book, you have a landing page, you use a lot of videos. We have a few minutes left. Could you give us some pointers in terms of what content pieces you would recommend our broker owners to use to recruit existing agents, but also to recruit newcomers?
Yeah, so I brought a lot of them. And one of them is this is our company training program. It's called Rev Up. But we've created Rev Up, like we have a rookie Rev Up. We have a Rev Up for people that want to get to the next level in their business. This is a huge part of it as well. And it's pretty comprehensive, as you can see. A phenomenal textbook. We show that this is a great piece too. We show how we are leaders in all these different various areas. As you can see, our market share in the various areas and things like that. This is a big one that we show as well, because in North America, a lot of other companies don't have the numbers to back it up, but we do, and this is a critical piece. We've done a lot of ads around this in different neighborhoods, okay? And what we do is we geolocated the agent's office and that neighborhood, saying we are the actual market leader in those neighborhoods. We also create things like this is what we call our competitive intelligence series. And we have analyzed it. If anybody knows Purple Bricks, I know people in the UK know Purple Bricks. This is a FISBO company. Okay, so we've compiled information about this company and their results and how they're selling in our areas as well. So showing people that maybe it's not work with a brand, a tried and true brand, and not work with a company like this. And we've created different data points about this company, showing, because everybody has a skeleton, and our competitors like this have a skeleton, and they have issues that are not serving the clients, not serving the consumer. We talk about our electronic brochures and things like that, and our marketing pieces, and our interactive. We have a product called Studio, which is a fully comprehensive tool that allows for virtual showings, 3D tours, neighborhood videos, all under one roof with analytics. So we're showing off our technology and what we've done there. We show off our office tools technology as well, online tools technology.
You also mentioned, or I've actually seen it on your social channels, testimonial videos from agents. Yes. That you then also send to other agents. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and the thing is too that we created these videos and we've created content. So it's not just boasting about us, but we've done some things where they could take this content, this video, and make it what I call their evergreen video, their introductory video to themselves. And then we kind of pepper it with elements about the company. And what it did was, it was a great opportunity for them to say, hey, I made the move, okay, and these are the reasons why, and I'm going to send this to my clientele and show them this is why I moved companies, okay, to help them better service my clients that much better, okay? So we get phenomenal people want to volunteer for this. We're getting people all the time. And then we use those videos, especially when we're recruiting somebody from that company. We usually send, that's in our pre-package prior to them coming. And again, in my real intro, I peppered it in my real intro as well. But you could just use BombBomb and say, hey, you know, I'd love to, just to confirm the meeting coming up, here's a link to a video of someone who's from your ABC Realty company, your company, and what they have to say about us. And it's a great attachment that you can send along.
Great. Thank you so much, Conrad. A lot of valuable information in what you've shared with us here in the last 15 minutes. A lot of great content pieces that we will definitely also be sharing with our broker owners. Before we wrap this up, what would be your number one advice to broker owners that are committed to grow their office now during this time? What would be your advice for them?
I think right now, this is the time to be helpful as possible. You're seeing companies out there trying to be as helpful. I think you should stay in your lane. Okay, what I mean by that is, I think people are going to gravitate to a brand, okay, right now, and a brand, they're going to trust that brand to distribute content and information, and that's critical. And I think you're going to have that information to distribute. You're going to have to start sharing some market stats and things like that. Look at your company, what's happening. Look at what RE/MAX is doing, and start to distribute some of that content, because it's all about you becoming that resource. And like I said, don't get too far out of your lane. Okay, stay within your lane. Like, we are all about, this company here, we're all about equity and enjoyment, building equity and building wealth through real estate. Okay, but also enjoying your real estate. So any of your content right now should be about being safe, how we can show your home in this new environment, where the market is today, where we see the market going. And I think that's where people are looking towards you for information, okay, in terms of the biggest investment that they have. That's
fantastic, Conrad. Thank you so much for sharing your insights today with us and your words of wisdom. All the best, a lot of success. Thank you so much for taking your time today.
Thanks for having me. I enjoy sharing. It's the network gets stronger when we do this kind of thing. So thank you for having me. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So you can see, setting goals, having the right strategy and systems in place will set you up for growth. Conrad is proof that it is still possible to recruit during COVID-19, so long as you adapt to the situation and don't leave anything to chance. Or in his own words, at the end of the day, you're the only one to blame if they don't come to you. Have a successful week.